How's it going, YouTube? This is Manny from Manny Fresh Bets, bringing you another video for NFL. I know I've been kind of MIA lately with the videos. MLB is not my type of sport. I love the sport though, but when it comes to betting terms, um, haven't had a quite enough good read on it for me to post the videos. I have been posting some home run parlays and strikeout parlays on my Twitter. So if you guys are not following the Twitter yet, it's at Manny Fresh Bets. Been kind of up and down, mostly wins, but some losses. Like I said, the baseball is not my sport to bet on. So I'm not gonna give out, constant videos where I'm not 100% sure. But again, we've been doing okay on the MLB post and on the bets. Winning more than losing, that's what it's all about. But I'll try to get some videos up for MLB. I've also been doing the Korean Basketball League. That one has been doing pretty well for me. And the hits parlay with the MLB players. So I'll probably be posting some coming up. It's just a lot going on in the summer. Kids playing flag football and doing their thing in sports, family trips and things like that. So I haven't had time. But in terms of this video, and one more thing before I start the showing you what I'm gonna show you today. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share. I've given out two giveaways already. One at 100 subscribers, one at 200 subscribers. I think I'm about 250 or over. I want to do that again, probably around 500 subscribers. NFL is my sport. If you guys been following me, we won a lot of money with the NBA bets, both for the same game parlays and the first baskets were freaking money. So we won a lot of money on that. But NFL is my number one sport. That's where I made most of my money last year. And I'm looking to do that again this year. So without further ado, I'm going to show you something that I like to do for some NFL games, especially if I'm picking more than one or two games. And it's going to be the teasers. So right now, obviously, NFL hasn't started. I'm really excited to start the season. So you're going to go to sports. You're going to go to NFL. And let's take week one. So I'm going to look for week one. So the teasers can be done one or two ways. You can do it on the spread or you can do it on the total. So you maybe do it on the spread. Like I said, in this particular game, Cincinnati Bengals are favored by -6.5. The total is over under. And so let me explain for you guys that might not know. So -6.5 basically means that the Bengals have to win by a touchdown or more. So six touchdown and an extra point. So they have to win by 7 to cover this 6.5 spread. If you think that the Bengals are going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers by 7 or more, you're going to pick that -6.5. If you think the Steelers are going to keep it closer than 6.5 or lose, 6 or less, you're going to pick them at +6.5. Then the totals, it's over under 44.5. So that means that the total score of the game, both teams have to score at least 45 because the over under is at 44.5. So for this particular video, I'm going to show you a points teaser, and then I'm going to show you a totals teaser. So to start, I'm going to take the Rams +1. I'm going to take the Bengals -6.5. I'm going to take the Eagles -4.5. Going to take the Colts -8. Saints -5.5. That Ravens-Jets game could be a little tricky. It's week one, so kind of look at trends first and kind of not be passive, but, look at your bets very carefully week one, week two. A lot of crazy things happen in these first couple of weeks. I'm going to take the Patriots +2.5. I'm going to take the 49ers -6.5. I'm going to take the Titans -6.5 against my Giants. I'm going to take the Packers -2. And I'm going to take the Buccaneers minus 2.5 and the Broncos minus 5.5. Though, obviously, that's a lot of picks, so you don't have to go crazy with these picks, but especially for teasers because a lot of things could go wrong. But just for example's sake, I'm going to pick those 11 picks. So I'm going to go to my bet slip. And right here on the bottom, you can see it says teasers or round robin. I made a video on round robins for the NBA. I'm also going to do one on NFL coming up. It's basically the same concept, just different ways to go about it. But I'm going to post one for NFL so you guys can see how that works for NFL. But for this video, we're going to do the teasers. And as you can see on the top, it says plus 6 points. So I can add or subtract on this. So -5, -4.5. And obviously you see at the bottom, the less points that I pick, so +5, you see my 11 leg teaser on the bottom is plus 5,001. That's the odds. If I were to increase it to 7 points or 6 points or 6.5, whatever, it goes all the way down to 1,600 as the odds. So basically, you're buying points. You're basically saying the Rams, so let's say I do a 6.5 point teaser. The odds are plus 2,000. So basically in this scenario, the Rams are +1. So that means they need to cover. They need to lose by less than 1, which obviously means they need to win or tie, which is very rare. So if I were to buy those plus 6.5 points, now they only need to lose by 7 or less or win outright for me to win that leg. It's a little bit tricky, but just think of it this way. You're buying points. So basically, the Cincinnati Bengals is probably an easier scenario. So Cincinnati is -6.5 point favorites against the Steelers. If I buy 6.5 points, that means all they need to do is outright win because now the spread goes to 0. So that means I don't feel confident enough in the Bengals to cover that 6.5 point spread or win by 7 or more points. I'm going to buy 6.5 points for the Bengals just to outright win. And then you can see the other scenarios here. Philadelphia Eagles, they're favored by -4.5, so they need to win by 5 or more to win that leg. Now they're +2, so they can even lose the game by 1, tie, or win for me to win that leg. Same thing with the Colts. They're facing a pretty bad Houston Texans team, so they're favored by 8 points. So they need to win by 9 points for you to win that leg. But if we buy the 6.5 points, all they need to do is win by 2 or more points for us to win that leg. Same thing for the Saints, -5.5. We bought 6.5 points. They're +1 now, so they need to just outright win or lose by less than 1, which obviously is not really, something that could happen, but they can tie, and that'll be a win. Same thing with the Patriots. They're 2.5 point underdogs, so they need to lose by 2 or less or win outright for you to win. Now we're buying 6.5 points. They need to lose by 9 or less for you to win that leg or win. Same thing with the 49ers, -6.5. We already went through that scenario with the Bengals. We bought 6.5 points. All they need to do is outright win against the Bears. Same things for the Titans. Packers are -2.5 point favorites, so they need to win by 3 or more against the Vikings. Now you bought 6.5 points, and now they need to lose by 4 or less or win to win that leg. Same thing with the Bucks. Denver Broncos then go to +1. So this is a good way to go about things if you're not 100% sure, or if you think, these games are pretty close. I think the Patriots might even win in this game, but I don't trust them to cover 2.5 points. They might lose by 3, and then you lose that leg. Now you're +9, and you can, feel a little bit more confident. So let's say, we bet $1 to win $20. So that's going to be an 11-point teaser for all these scenarios here. I can even do, 6 points, which will get me, still pretty good odds. And I think I'm going to take the 6 points. The other scenarios here don't have Yeah, this looks pretty good. Actually, I'm gonna take this. So I'm gonna take the $1 at the 6 point teaser. I'm gonna bet a buck to win $29 payout. Now for the totals, it's pretty much gonna be the same thing. So you're gonna be buying points. Buffalo Bills against the Rams. That's probably gonna be a high scoring game. 53 points is a lot of points. I'm pretty confident they could reach that. But again, the Rams could come out with a really good defense. The Bills could be a little bit, rusty to begin with in the season. So let's say I'm going to take, the over 52 and a half. That means they need to score 53 or more to win that leg, but then we're gonna tease it with the points. Same thing with the Steelers and the Bengals game. I'm going to take the over 44 and a half. I actually think the Bengals could probably score at least 30 in this game, even though the Pittsburgh Steelers have a pretty good defense. Bengals laid them out last year. I think they could score pretty well. The Eagles and Detroit game. This one is kind of iffy for me. 46 points. Eagles are going to run the ball a lot. Detroit is still unknown, but they can score. So I think I'm going to skip that game, and I'm going to go to the Colts game over 44. Houston, believe it or not, is they're a bad team, but they can score. We saw that last year. They get down by 20, 23 points, and then they just start storming back like they did against Tennessee. They score a lot of garbage points, if you want to call it garbage points. I don't like using that term, but I think they can score some points there. The Falcons are going to be a bad team. Let me see what that works out to. So I'm going to take the over there. I'm going to take the Patriots and the Dolphins game, the Niners and Bears game, the Raiders and Chargers. I think the Giants offense is actually going to be okay this year. So I'm going to take that over. Arizona and KC probably is going to be a high-scoring game. Same thing for the Packers and Vikings, Dallas Cowboys. And then I don't know if I trust the Seahawks to score enough in this game. So I'm going to leave them off there. So we got 11 there. And as you can see, these are the points for the overs. But then we're going to click the teaser. And now what we have is, instead of that game total being for the first game, the Bills and Rams game, instead of it being 53, now it's only 46 and a half. So they need to score 47 combined for us to win that first leg. Same thing, Pittsburgh Steelers against the Bengals. Instead of 44 and a half, which means 45, you need to score. They only need to score 39 combined. Houston and the Colts, 38 combined. Saints and Falcons, 36 combined, and so on and so forth. So you can see the picks right there. So this is kind of how you do the teasers in the totals. I actually like these picks. I might not go higher just because I don't trust the Falcons to score as much. So I'm going to keep it there at the 6-point teaser. And again, I'm getting a plus 2801 odds for this game. Again, bet a buck to win 2801. So I'm going to place that bet. And that's how you do the teasers. So again, you can do the teasers on the points. You can do the teasers on the spread. So if you, again, week 1 is very, very confusing. A lot of underdogs win in game 1 just because there's, so much unknown with these teams. Some bad teams just catch good teams by surprise. So I can see using teasers is a good strategy to begin the season, especially when you have, teams that are unknown, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're still a good team. They're just very unknown because of the quarterback situation. Is Trubisky going to start? Is Pickett going to start? How's the offense going to look? We know the defense is going to be good, but how's the offense going to look? So you might want to use the teasers on the Steelers or the Bengals, whichever side you're looking at, just to kind of, buffer, like a buffer. You think Steelers might keep it close, but you're not 100% sure. you can use a plus two 6.5 and use it as a teaser. Obviously, you can do it on one. It has to be two or more. So let's say, for example, the Eagles and the Steelers. You could use the teaser, 6 point teaser. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers, instead of being 6.5 point underdogs, they're 12.5 point underdogs. So now you have a 6 point buffer that you use. So you basically think they're not going to get blown out. And the Philadelphia Eagles are now, instead of 4.5 point favorite, you have to win by 5. You got 6 points of buffer that the Eagles could either lose by 1 or win outright for you to win that teaser. Obviously, the odds are not high there. It's only minus 134 because you're only picking 2 teams, and the points are high. But you still can make some money. You could bet $20 to win 15. But if you were to do it just, regularly, those $20 are going to give you $52.89. But now Steelers have to cover that 6.5 point spread, and the Eagles have to cover that 4.5 spread. So it's definitely more difficult for that to happen than when you do the teaser, which gives you those 6 points, and it's a little bit easier to attain. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm going to end it there. I'm sorry I went this long, but I know it's been a while since I posted some picks. I just wanted to kind of get a recap going, teach you this, this teasers play. Don't use them like every single time, because obviously you're buying points and you're losing money. Like you saw here with that example with the Steelers and the Eagles. You're losing a lot of money because you're paying for that juice. You're paying for those 6 points. Don't use them very often. If you feel more confident about taking it straight up, take the odds straight up, or take the spread straight up. But if you feel, like I said, in the beginning of the year, things are very more difficult to kind of figure out. Teams are difficult to figure out. The teasers might be a good play. And then you can use teasers when there's like injuries and things like that. So that's how you use your teasers. I really appreciate everyone's support. Like I said, I apologize for not posting videos lately, being MIA, but MLB is kind of hit or miss. I don't like to give out plays that I'm not 100% comfortable with. I have been giving out plays on Twitter. Those are a little bit more comfortable for me. But those come like right at the spurt of the moment when I'm doing my research. The research takes a bit of time, so I don't have time to make the videos. But we have been hitting. We just hit 2 strikeout parlays for all the games that happened yesterday, July 26th. So we got good money there. It's just, like I said, been hit or miss, winning more than losing, but kind of up and down. So it's not like NBA where we were winning pretty constantly. So again, really appreciate everyone's support. Like, comment, share. Let's make some money together. Hopefully you guys found this very useful for using the teasers. I'll be posting a round robin play as well for NFL. I did that for the NBA. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy your day, and hopefully we make some money together coming up in the NFL season. Take care, guys.